Thanks for staying with us. Generation Z, colloquially known as Zoomers, is the demographic cohort succeeding millennials and preceding Generation Alpha. And this set of people are known to sometimes be quite difficult to deal with. So joining us on the show now to enlighten us on how effectively to work with Gen Zs is a project management professional, a health and safety executive practitioner from the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health, United Kingdom. Also a certified KPI professional is with us in the house today. Welcome, Ayo Murtala.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Yes, so thanks for coming on the show to talk about Gen Z. It's like a trending topic now. Everybody wants to understand how to deal with Gen Zs. Some of us are already raising Gen Zs. And there's always this constant struggle on how to understand where their minds are at every point in time, because they are quite different from us and they don't reason the way we do. And, you know, it's the grace of God we're asking to be able to raise them properly so that they don't go outside and disgrace us. However, and disgrace themselves too. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, I want to start by asking, why are they so different from what we know and what we are used to?
The question is, are they?
I think they are.
Well, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe that's why it's not an issue to me. There's nobody in my workforce that is up to 30 years old as I speak to you, and that's about 25 of them. And I relate successfully with them because I think it's a mindset from the beginning. So for me, I never have the mindset that they are different. So I'm not seeing any major difference. I'm just seeing that I'm dealing with people, I'm relating with them. That's all.
Wow.
Okay, they are different.
Thank you, Nima. Somebody's on my side.
Let me explain. Because you see, anything that is to give somebody confusion, I don't like it. Number one, their codes, their languages, you need to learn. You need to conform. When they are talking, you be like, they use some new terms. And then these days, mental health is a very emphatic issue with them.
For them.
First month, auntie, hurt me. I'm like, what did they do to
Small
you that
play.
they did not do before? There was a video that we discussed on this table where a young girl was corrected in a public bus in the UK. In the UK. And madam go and tell her that, behave yourself. Don't you have elders at home? She sent it back. It has to be a Gen Z. If it was one of us, would be like, oh, sorry, madam. We'll move away. We don't want it.
But
so they are wired. They are wired
differently.
to speak up. In fact, they are completely different.
But
I am struggling presently to cope with one. I'm mentoring. Every single thing that I dare not imagine, she's doing it. I'm expecting everybody to understand.
So the truth of the matter is, I will still go back to the fact that it's a perception thing and it's a mindset thing. Okay. We were different from our parents.
Exactly.
That's where I was going.
We were different from our parents completely. And the way they live their life, we also rebelled against them, don't forget. And we expected them to understand us. Yeah. We wanted them to understand us. So why are we finding it hard?
I wasn't a rebellious child.
To understand them.
You were not what?
Even as she was saying it,
She couldn't say it
to some extent.
That explains.
So so we need to then understand that now the table has turned. It's our turn to deal with them. If you remember the way our parents dealt with us, when they serve you food, for instance, and you say you're not eating, they will give you another food. Today, I have a 6-year-old child that I need to always negotiate with every time because I want her to eat.
It's not me I'm feeding. I'm feeding.
So we'll negotiate. If you finish this food,
You have this.
you have this. I mean, did anybody do that to us?
For what?
Exactly. So we need to understand that. Another thing I found out is that for the Gen Z, they have access to information more than we did during our time. So they ask questions. And I think it's the act of asking the questions that some of us don't want to take because we were used to being given orders. Instruction. And we must obey. But then they ask the question. And sometimes we want to challenge, why are you asking me the question? But these people are extremely productive. So I don't know what people see. Because even in our set, I've had people of my own generation By the way, don't mind my gray, I'm not an old person. My gray
Are you in our generation?
Yeah, our generation.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm in our generation.
Your voice, I can
sure
tell
of
from
that.
your voice, you're good. We know some people age early, but I think for me, I would like us to go back like from the beginning so that we can help decode these people. Gen Zs, are they just genetically that way, or did we raise them to be that way? And if it is our fault in raising them, then maybe in that we can decode what we need to do differently in, interacting with them.
Well, in terms of genetically, I may not be able to answer that because I never even liked biology when I was in school anyway. So that's scientific. I don't know if it's been scientifically proven to be like that. But in terms of raising, I want to go to that line. Like I said, one of the things that they have access to now on their phones and everything is part of raising. A 3-year-old child already knows how to operate a phone, can do more than you can do on a phone. So it's part of raising. I mean, we hardly had access to all these kind of things when we're growing up. So raising up could be seen to be part of it as to why they see things that way. And now they're exposed to different culture from different places beyond our own culture. So they can ask questions and challenge the status quo in itself. But I see the positive side of them.
That starts by 4 p.m.
Don't forget.
Bang, 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 bang.
And all those things that we used to watch starts at 4 p.m.
So before you step in, your question, I just remembered, I've seen a study that for every generation that's coming, there's a DNA upgrade. Science has found that. Okay. So it's also part of what is making them different. So aside from the way we are raising them and all the gadgets they are exposed to, their DNA too is upgraded, is a bit different from what we have. So we just have to adjust on all the levels.
Well, if that's proven, then we need to, we actually need to live with it. I think mostly for the Gen Z, they just want to be heard.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
I get that part. And because there must be something you're doing right. It might be an unconscious competence thing that you have been able to manage a lot of Gen Z in your workplace without seeing the difference, while for other people, it's been a bit of a challenge to manage. So that's what we want to get, because people are struggling with managing Gen Zs in their place of work.
In their homes.
Even in their homes. So we have cases of where people feel like somebody spoke to me, and the way they spoke, it hurts me, and I can't function in that environment. And the Gen Z just wants to resign or wants to step out. Like, they are unwilling to. They're not as resilient as we are unable to deal with emotional situation. It overwhelms them. How do we, as employers of Gen Zs, understand where they're coming from and the fact that they're not as resilient as us, and how do we now relate with that person? Okay,
so I'll address it from two angles. Maybe my own background and also from what you said. Now, today, wanted to know that there are options when it comes to work. You can easily get options. During our old time, there are not so many options. We want job security, so we're ready to accommodate and take, not because we didn't like it. Let's be realistic. We didn't like the way we were also spoken to and treated at the workplace. We didn't. We just didn't want to move.
But we need to earn money.
Exactly.
But we were responsible. I tried to leave home.
We accommodated it. We endured it. We didn't like it. That's the truth. So for them, they didn't like it. They will walk away.
They have options.
Now they have options.
I like that.
Maybe just hold their phone and become influencer.
Maybe we had options at that time. I don't know. Maybe
we didn't
really have so many options. But they have options. So we were also not treated
Are we not
very
creating
well.
options? Because as a parent now, I have a 10-year-old who from 7 will refuse to eat what I make and make something else. But in my mom's house, that's a fact. Whatever my mother makes,
everybody eats.
If I like, let me not want to eat it. I can go hungry.
So that's what I'm saying.
So
you can
are we not enabling them? Because I now see
that's how
we enabled them.
We created them.
Because if I had insisted like my mother insisted, she can fast.
But the point is, when they were insisting on us, we didn't like it as well. Don't forget. And in our mindset,
so we're now allowing our children the freedom we didn't have.
So no. So what we thought to ourselves was, we didn't like the way probably we were
treated.
And we told ourselves, so we're not going to treat
Our children the
children
same
that
way. That's also.
So we then enabled it.
No.
Yes.
Okay,
Let me
okay, go
tell
ahead.
you this one example that happened in my house. I will tell you, growing up as a child, they did not allow me to defend myself when adults are speaking. I was always told to shut up. So I knew that I was going to teach my children to defend themselves. Oga,
To speak up.
they are speaking up over my head. I cannot talk. They are talking. If I talk one, they talk 15. Do you understand? They are speaking up. And I'm like, hey. So this is what I thought. I thought I was giving them confidence that I lacked when I was growing up. So the other day I sat down, their grandma is around. I said, look at how grandma raised me. And look at how I'm raising you and what I decided to do. But now I'm thinking maybe grandma's
the wisdom
method was better. So she asked them, she said, so which method do you prefer? We prefer mommy's method. Oh, you prefer mommy's method? Then how do you appreciate mommy for this method that she has given you? You know, so I can tell you categorically that I have raised the talk.
But you know that the grandma today too are extremely very soft now.
Yeah.
So if you look at your kids,
They will spoil them,
than what you did.
So I have a daughter who was supposed to participate in a school stuff. So she's not shy, but she doesn't like to come out as much as her younger brother. So I encouraged her, go out, go and show your skills. This thing people are organizing, come out and do something. Everybody keeps, when they see the brother perform, they'll be asking, where is she? She's not doing that. I said she does, she's good, but she doesn't like to. So I encouraged her and we agreed. And she went. The second day she came back, Mommy, I'm not doing that dance again. I said, what happened? He said, the way they spoke to me, I don't like it. I just told them, I can't deal. Please, I have to go and study for my test. I can't deal. I can't deal with that. Mommy, no. Then I put me at the back. I didn't know what to do, whether to get upset, I just was lost. And I was telling myself, afterwards I called, I said, no, you need to, it's not every time they will talk to you the way you like. Yeah. But it's part of it. I said, do you know how many times I've been insulted in my job? But I just know that I have to keep, you keep building yourself. She didn't get what I was saying. She was like, no, I can't take disrespect. I'll just take a walk. And she took a walk and she did not participate. I felt so bad. I didn't know how to handle it. So in this case now, how will I handle it so that it doesn't happen next time? Because I know that she needs to be able to stay. She needs staying power because things will not always be the way she wants it. So
it might be a bit complex to handle in the sense that, one, we don't really know how that person spoke to her. Which may actually be different from the way you have always been speaking to her. And she sees a very wide difference from the way you used to speak to her and the way you had created an understanding ground with her, all right, discussing things. Now, the person, whoever spoke with her, probably did not do it the same way. And she felt people can talk to you in such a way that you would hate yourself and you will feel... yes, a low self-esteem. So we don't.
Are you sure you're not a Gen Z at heart?
Honestly,
because you are so understanding of.
So bringing it back to the workplace again, a lot of Gen Zs rebel against structured workforce. Why do I have to resume at 8 a.m. in the morning? Why can't I resume at 10?
I can relate to that.
Yes, I would like to resume at 10. I would like to work from home.
Remote work.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, dress formal, and then somebody comes to work with a crop top on Monday morning.
Okay.
Crop top.
No, I can understand.
Okay, so let me explain that. Maybe you are right to say I'm Gen Z at heart.
We don't talk out.
I'm actually a performance management expert. So when I was into your previous discussion, we talked about it. So I actually always go against status quo. I hate being confined
That's why it makes
and
sense.
having to work in this structure. So in the workplace, one, we just have an open resumption time. Make sure we resume at 9. We don't have, nobody writes attendance, nobody signs in, nobody signs out.
How do you grade productivity?
We don't, then because we're consulting firm, I don't like doing, if things have been done the same way, I mean, how do we do things differently? So one of the first things I did was to say that we're going to operate a structure without job description. Nobody has job description in my office, so it's a flexible work system.
So you're saying Gen Z cannot be a medical doctor now? Cannot be a nurse?
No,
because then you have to, because I'm afraid that as you are cutting me now, decide, oh, I don't feel like it right now.
Exactly.
I just drop all the things and leave me.
We'll come back to that response after this commercial break. Stay with us.
Hey.
All right.
Welcome back. This Gen Z issue is not easy at all. But somebody asked the question.
Yes, you know, you were trying to give us ideas about how to ensure productivity even with Gen Zs that are not really within the structured space, and you were giving yourself as an example.
Yes, so the structured system, all right, maybe because I understand performance, understand how performance are tracked. So one of the things we've had before now is that we measure people's performance by the way they dress, their punctuality at work, the way they speak to you. But all those things went down the drain during COVID when people had to work from home. So people had challenges about how do we track people's performance. I said, yeah, because that's always been the problem. Now that you don't see them, you now find it difficult. All I want to see, I don't want to see the way you look, the way anything. But the point is, are you doing the work?
I want to see results.
I want to see result, but they get the result done. Now, we have, I'm not a conformist when it comes to dressing. I choose the way I dress, and nobody makes me to dress the way they want me to dress. I don't wear tie, for instance. I don't even know how to knot a tie anyway. So one of the reasons why I never worked in the bank was because of tie. I don't want anybody to conform me into a particular box that this is the way I should behave. So I chose a path that was, so that's the same system we create.
Let me bring this into family, because, you know, this is workplace. We can have some standards. Imagine my son, my mother-in-law asked him, get me something, and he just threw it at her. And he's a child, but even if you keep saying it, he sees this as, I didn't mean to insult, I gave it to her anyway, you know, and we are there. That's how we're trying to get to the point. Last night I said to him, stop asking for the remote, you're not going to get it. And he said, but I'm not, I said, shut up. And shut up, we're defining it. You know, till daybreak, I have to apologize for saying shut up. You know, how do we make these kids merge, this meeting point between them and that generation? Because we are keen on respect, we are keen on, you know, standards, and they are so lost when you bring it into that box. You bring a lot of emotions inside.
Let me add also something, because I believe it's the same. How do we make them understand that by trying to correct them, we're not trying to stop them from growing? Do you understand? Let them understand it's come from a place of love and want the best for them.
Exactly. So coming from the place of love, I have a 13-year-old and I have a 6-year-old. So 2 girls, 2 beautiful girls, by the way. So, and I know when they want to show up the 13-year-old, but she doesn't show it. I sit her down and I have sometimes not a father to daughter, a friend to friend conversation. We have a chit chat. And she doesn't want to make me unhappy at all costs. I don't want this, I don't want it. And she won't do it. We had that understanding, because sometimes it's not like there's where we learn it. Let me just put it that way. Maybe some of us maybe sometimes we're just lucky.
So would you have to
so let me add.
What if it's an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old that has some rights and there's some things you're unable to do, you know, insisting on to enforce?
In my house, there are no rights.
Well, so what do you do in that case?
Well, the kind of conversation I always have with them, I have my nephew staying with me, he's an 18-year-old. He will do it the way I want him to do it.
Because he's in your house.
Yes, I tell him to go and do this.
Is it the tone of language you use?
So please, I wanted to add something.
Sometimes.
So how do you do it?
No, hold on, Nima. It's not just about the tone. I want us to separate rudeness and disrespect, bad behavior, bad character from being Gen Z who wants to be heard.
Yeah.
They are 2 different things.
Exactly.
We have children who are spoiled.
Express yourself without being rude.
Exactly. We have children who are spoiled, who do things anyhow and is excused as is a Gen Z. No. We need to separate it. Then we have those who, because they are Gen Z, they will not take oppression, they will speak to you, and they will speak. I've seen Gen Zs that are polite, even when they are telling you, and they will do their work, and they are not lazy. We have that. So, but that mix of, because you are Gen Z, you can talk to your boss anyhow, and talk to your parents anyhow. Let's separate it.
Exactly. I think the point is we're seeing too much of negative side of Gen Z, and that's what I said all the time. The rudeness, the bad attitude is not about Gen Z. It exists in every generation.
Just bad character.
That it exists in every generation. It's not about being Gen Z, but we are just attaching it so much
To them.
To them. See,
Giving it that.
like I said, I have a crop of Gen Z, as in nobody in my office space is 30. And these are, about just this week, last week, we had something that we needed to do, and these guys worked for 4 days. They were working into 1 a.m., 2 a.m. without complaints.
Imagine.
Because they're
So
doing what they want to do.
What they love.
Yeah, so I wanted to just quickly say something because in also helping employers understand, I had a conversation with one of my Gen Z staff and she didn't like, she said, one of the things she first said was, I don't like the idea of being labeled. She said they refer to me and they say, oh, because she's Gen Z, it's because she's Gen Z. She doesn't like the idea of you calling me out and say I'm a Gen Z and you are saying it in a negative way. Like using it to connote something bad. So she said she didn't want that, and that's a lot of times when they say it, she just shuts down. So she can't contribute because you have labeled her and you have prejudged her, and she'll just be looking at you throughout the meeting, which was why I had that meeting with her. And we had to now discuss it in the office. And sometimes we're thinking that, oh, this person is not, she's not contributing, she's not adding value. They have value, but you have boxed them and they will not do anything you want them to do because of what you have done. And another thing is what you said, which is in the productivity thing. Yeah, I didn't like the crop top matter, but I didn't see anything. I've learned that I don't react immediately because she's not my child. It's a workplace, and it is not a fine thing because the Gen Z worker can walk away from your job like that. They don't care about that 2 weeks into anything. If you give me a toxic feeling, I want my sanity, and they will step out. So as we need to understand how to live and work with them. You cannot shout, you can't be angry, you can't say that you had a bad day and you're bringing it to your, she will just leave you alone. And it's not rudeness, she'll just tell you, please, my sanity is too important for me. So we must learn to be a bit more patient like we are with our smaller children when we're dealing with.
So I think one of the things that also helped me working with them is that, so yesterday they said they wanted to do a reel on TikTok, something trending, and they came to call me that anytime they call me, well, I need to be part of it. I'm part of it.
So let me ask you this question. What is the right time to become a friend to your children? So I'm raising, to your young Gen Zs now. I'm raising Gen Zs already. And I'm constantly... they are even alphas. I'm constantly trying to separate when to be the mother and when to be the friend. Because from the friendship, they will now start taking advantage of some things. And I quickly have to wear my mother cap. I am your mother here. This is the law in this house. So how do we, for those people who are raising, people who are getting into the workspace, separate it so that they know that even in the workplace, you can be shouted at now.
There's a boss time. Yes. Okay. So it's not structured in any pattern in itself. I think instincts will tell you based on whatever is happening at that point in time. So sometimes you need to switch to the mother part immediately to snap some things to take control in itself. If you are giving 3 steps and you want to take 6 steps, and you know that these 6 steps is going to be counterproductive. Sometimes you allow that because you see that, taking further steps is not going to have any negative effect. But by the time you see that this thing is going to have an effect, then you need to
cut it.
You need to switch. Not like I don't switch even as a Gen Z father. The office. Even Gen Z father. I mean, I switched on my daughter one day and I said, you're not going to sit on the TV. You're not going to watch TV for the next 2 days. Yes. I mean, until you do this and this and that. She cried, she did everything. I didn't even look at her. I just said what I said.
Stuck to it,
I was just doing my thing. I didn't shout, I didn't do anything.
One more question. We're going.
Yes, I was going to say that in the workplace, as an employer, what would you say are the positives of having Gen Zs work for you? Because
they're highly productive and the level of creativity is very high. So it drives you. When you understand them, trust me, you get the best out of them. I mean, me working with those that are my own generation, it's a lot difficult because they're already molded. But for the Gen Z,
they're adaptable, they're flexible.
You get the best out of them. You understand them, you get results.
Thank you so much, ladies, for the show, the contributions. Thank you, Mr. Ayo Murtala. Please give me the right pronunciation.
Yes, that's it.
Murtala.
Right.
Okay, I called it Murtala.
Anyone you call it is
Oh,
fine
it's
by me.
okay. Oh,
Gen
all
Z
right.
like that.
Thank you for your insights on the Gen Z topic. And that's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely day.